Says you're live. Well, I hope they got somebody who can check on me once in a while just to make sure that's real. And it's. But let me tell you something. I had a burp on the other my posted video and whatnot. I'm not AI. I'm a real person, and so that's a real dog. That's a German pointer that's down there. She's cool. Not a German pointer. No, she's not a pointer. What the hell is they call him? A German pinscher, I'm sorry. I forgot what Lucy is. Shh, she's sleeping. Don't wake her up and tell her. She'll get pissed at me, and then I'll have to take her out again. She had a rough morning this morning. So did I. The old lady was very upset about a lot of shit, and not my fault, folks. Sorry. I had nothing to do with it. She can make all the mess she wants and it's okay. I leave a scrap someplace on the floor and it's my problem. It's my fault and I'm in big trouble. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I told you I finished one. This is sort of very simple. I don't know whether you could see it. You know, there. And I'm just finishing it off. Seems a wax dried wrong, so I have to use a different finishing product. But we're going to try something a little slightly different this time. We'll see what happens. They're called Easter Island heads. We'll see what happens with that. So anyhow, we got Iran planting mines in the straits. I forget what they call them. I should go back and look that up, shouldn't I? Nah, should I go do that? Nah, why bother? Figure it out later. I told you this is live. Yeah, they're bombing the strait. They're not bombing the straits. They put they were attempting to. I think they said the U.S. was responsible for destroying the vessels. They're good. They're so good at shooting small little boats. Especially if they got a lot of people on them. They do a lot in the Caribbean, so they have a lot of practice. The pilots. I wouldn't want to go up against our pilots, no matter what size ship you're on, because these guys are good. That's the thing about it. There's technology, and then there's just these guys that go out and do their job, and these guys just go out and do the job. Moving right along. What is this? Oh, okay, that's gone. Uh-oh, look who woke up to scratch their head. Lucy! Oh, Lucy. Lucy, hey, stop that. Hey, stop that. Stop that. Stop it. No. Lucy, no. See, now she gives me the guilty look. You can't really see it at that angle, but she's got a really great guilty look. But that happens every time you say Lucy. See, the tail kicks in. That's just an amazing thing. She just loves to hear her name, Lucy. Oh, now she's making me a liar. She loves to do that too. Anyhow, they're putting mines. I don't know if they got any of them mines laid in there or not when they blew up the ships. But 3 vessels were hit before they got into the straits. Which is, easier to get to because we protect the ships on the way out. We don't protect them on the way in when they're empty. So 3 of them were hit, and that's going to piss off some people. And the war is going to spread, and it's not going to end anytime soon. Trump just doesn't understand human nature, and some Iranians have been trying to explain this to him. That all you did when you like when you killed Khomeini, the supreme leader, you created a martyr. You aggravated all the people that were on his side. They used to say during the Afghan war that if you went in and you killed purely by accident, not on purpose. An Afghan, a male Afghan in the village, that you automatically had 100 uh, people joining him, 100 new fighters, because that's just the way the people were, and if and they said that eventually it's the same thing with soldiers. If you kill somebody's son, you get 100 martyrs, whether the guy was a terrorist or not. Doesn't make any difference, because our definition of terrorism and their definition of terrorism are two different things, which usually happens in a war. If you both agree on something, then you're probably not at war. You know what I mean? So that's just a thing that goes around out there. There was a trademark war that finally got settled today between Katy Perry and Katy Perry. Kaity, Katy. Different last name. I don't know. They're not related as far as I can tell. One, and I'm not sure which one spells which. So I'm not going to go back and check that. When you read those articles, they get confusing. Katy Perry and then Katy Perry. Well, okay. But anyhow, she's actually the other one, the designer, the one that was being sued by the singer, and the trademark infringement. She's now married. She has the last name Taylor, but she doesn't use it. She's gone back to the corp business that she started in 2009, which is Katy Perry Apparel or whatever. And they were getting along for a while there, and then Katy Perry, the singer, became more and more famous, and she sued because she was selling apparel at the concerts, and she didn't want it confused. And the problem is that her apparel that she was selling at the concerts wasn't as good as the apparel that this individual was selling in Sydney. So they got into this thing, and it supposedly went on for like 10 years or more, and it's finally settled. And the designer won the right to the trademark. She can keep the trademark, and they're going to exist. It's just no big deal. I mean, if you want to fight, you want to spend your money fighting over that fight just becomes a tax write-off, and you're making some lawyer very, very rich. Probably the more on the other side than it's getting rich than the other one is. But it just shows that you got. I think the whole fight, what she said, the designer said, it was more about small businesses being protected than it was anything else. She said there's no money involved in that really. She was still making money, and she's not in the class of the singer. In terms of income. Now you see, I'm struggling to yawn. I did this on the posted video that I did earlier, and I explained to him. I said, "Listen, this proves one thing: I'm alive, because this doesn't get edited. Okay, I'm alive. I do this live. I don't. You don't see any gaps in the tape. Where you see that's usually a sign that something's been edited. I don't edit it. This is me. I'm no AI. Trust me. I hate AI. I think AI will be the death of the world. But that's me and Albert Einstein and a few other very smart people think that way. But what are you gonna do? What else can I say? You ought to see my desk from this side. I got shit here and I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Very, very confusing. Every once in a while, I just start throwing stuff out because I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what that is back there. All right. Looks like a snake. Anyhow, that lawsuit was, frivolous in my opinion. It wasn't, trademark lawsuits are always frivolous because you don't want to, in some cases, after a year or two, sometimes with these celebrities, you don't want to be associated with them anymore. There's only a couple of Rihannas and whatnot around there, and Rolling Stones and people like that manage to stay uh, relevant for you know 20 years or so, or longer. Uh, that's that. The Stones logo is forever. Going to be they're going to recognize who that is. Yeah, even if they don't care. It's their logo, and the Stones don't care. You know, whether it's the Rolling Stones or not, because people just love that logo. They buy T-shirts with that logo, and then on the back it may say Rolling Stones. My T-shirt says it on the back. It's in about 1 inch letters, Rolling Stones. But that's neither here nor there. Ow, ow, got something stuck in my gum. Mm. That happens to me a lot. I guess it's a similar. It's something from old age. I don't know. You don't chew enough or whatever. So what else was I talking about? I don't remember. I'm trying to figure out where Trump is and what he's doing now, because he's being protected by media right now. You see the stuff they put up on Occupy Day. Democrats, you got Brian Cohen out there with his show, and these all show up on YouTube. And I don't know whether that stuff is true or not. There was a big article, some story the other day. I can't remember exactly what it was, but if it was true, it's really, really big. I remember that. And I spent 3 hours looking for how to verify it, and it's not real. It's not true. It's not real. So I don't know. Why these. But as I said, these sites get paid. They're paid to click, paid by the click, or paid when you click. I don't know how they word it, but every time you click on it, let's say they make a quarter. All right. So if they get 200,000 views, that's divide that by four, and you see how much money they're talking about. I haven't got the energy to do that mentally. It's probably around $60,000 that you just made them by clicking on it. And that's the way they do things. Uh, they're no, it can't be, but it's close to $60,000, whatever. Uh, but they're all that's how things work these days. They get you to click on it, and they make their money that way. Because if they didn't do it that way, you would see advertisements on their website. If you see advertisements on their website, that means they've got sponsors, and they're not pay to click to pay, or pay to click, however you want to say it. Website, they're a sponsored website, and you know that sponsored websites don't let you say certain things. They have control of you to a certain degree. Nobody has any control over me, obviously. I wouldn't be sitting here fat and ugly and talking about my dog and everything else. You have to pay more attention. That's why I don't really like these live videos that much, because this becomes like a job. You have to do this at the same time, roughly the same time every day, in order to get people to see it. And like yesterday, nobody showed up, and right now nobody's showing up today. So and I understand that a couple of my friends are sick and whatnot, and they don't, this isn't something that, they're not there every day, but I'm supposed to be here every day at a specific time. And now, see, even my dog is leaving me now. See that? Lucy just left me to go sit on the balcony, get a little tan. Oh, you can't win, folks. You just can't win. Everybody's against me. So listen, show your support for my channel in general by hitting the subscribe button or subscribing to it. I don't know where you can do it, but you'll get notifications when I go live. You'll see my videos, my posted videos will show up in your email box. Hey, just hit the link. Don't get excited. It's not garbage. Sometimes there's actually some interesting stuff there, but my stuff is ad free. Right at the moment, because nobody wants to pay me to be here. I'd pay people to have somebody else do this. I think. Anyhow, it's the end of my well, not a lot of time. It's the amount. I keep these things to around 15 to 20 minutes because how much bullshit can you understand? And I know people's attention span. Most people left at the 10-minute mark. It's difficult to. It's truly difficult to say there. That's all right, Jim. You're late. Don't worry about it. You know me. I don't have a schedule. You know. So we talked about a few things. There's a posted video, regular video posted that's pretty much covers what I was talking about today. So you can go over there and see it, and then you can tell me how stupid I was about it. But anyhow, if I look like I haven't got any sleep, I haven't. I'm an 80-year-old man with a large prostate. That's any indication of what I go through at night. Every 2 hours. You know. I'm going to start wearing diapers when I go to bed. All right, Jim. Listen, you caught me at the end of this one. I ran out of things to say because, as I was explaining before, I noticed that you were commenting there that people that people's attention span runs to be about 10 minutes unless they're intensely interested in something, or the person's a very powerful speaker. Like a Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Obama, somebody that somebody. Good to see you too. Hey, how you feeling, Jim? You all right? Hope you're okay. But these powerful speakers can stand up there and do it a long time. That's the thing about the Catholic Church. Priests don't understand something. Priests have a tendency to get up there at the pulpit and do their let's call it their monologue. I don't know if there's a word for it, but I've forgotten it 50 years ago. And they'll stand there and they'll talk for 20 minutes, half hour. Sometimes it's an hour. And it's in a monotone, and they can't understand why half the people look like they're asleep. And the other half are staring blankly at them in some sort of trance, because they are. They're half asleep. They're hypnotized. Because they speak in monotones. They don't understand public speaking at all. And not that I do either, obviously. But anyhow, listen, I'm out of here now. And I try to, keep it under 10 minutes. Most people leave before then anyhow. You guys have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Subscribe to the video. Or you're not subscribing to the video per se, you're subscribing to the channel, which anything that I do on YouTube, you'll have access to, okay? So everybody take it easy, and I will see you mañana. Bye, Jim. Have a good one.